Yeah, let's find a comfortable seat. After moving cats out of the way, and just begin to close your eyes, maybe wiggle back and forth, forward and backwards. So wiggle however you need to just kind of get settled, kind of nest into your spot. And just begin to notice arriving, the feeling of arriving to a space, that sort of transitional feeling of going from one thing to another. You don't have to put any words to it, just notice the general feeling of things sort of slowing down or whatever comes up for you. For some of us, anxiety can come up when we're arriving. And if that does come up for you, just see where you feel it in your body. And let's take a few deep breaths together. So in through the nose, get nice and tall. And open the mouth, let the breath just fall out. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. One more big inhale. And just let it all go. Notice your body resting in space. And notice what it feels like to notice that you're sitting, that you have a body. Notice how you can sort of sense objects around you, the proximity with your eyes closed. So even with your eyes closed behind you, you can sort of feel the air around you, the sides, the front. So notice your whole body resting in space. So in space, meaning within the space, noticing the things around you. Maybe notice what's touching the ground now. So the sides of your legs, maybe, or if you're in a chair, the bottoms of your feet and your booty and your legs. So notice your legs, your hips. Notice your sit bones for a moment. See if you can equal out the weight on your sit bones. And as you maybe begin to pull your breath to your low belly, letting your belly get really extra soft. It's made for expansion. Let it get soft. But as you notice the next inhale, maybe let your low back get a little taller. And exhale some relief into those shoulders and your heart space, your rib cage. So breathing from the low belly allows the shoulders and the rib cage to just soften a little more, less compression. Let's slowly begin to bring the heart over the pelvis for the sit bones. And then let another inhale lead the crown of the head towards the sky. Maybe bring the head over the heart. A nice lengthening of the back and softening of the front. Great. And if you feel your mind wandering, that's just something that happens. So no judgment there, no judgment zone. But maybe when you notice it wandering for that brief moment, just see what it feels like when that spell is broken, when you sort of wake up from that dream, that wandering mind. Right? Let's bring our attention to our hands. So notice anything that reminds you you have hands while your eyes are still closed. Any pressure, temperature, warmth, coolness, whatever it is, tingling, maybe a cloud of sensation. So you don't necessarily feel hand per se. You feel a multitude of sensations at any given moment. They don't need words. It's sort of the miracle of being alive. And let's let our next inhales bring our hands over our heads. Nice big stretch. You can interlace your fingertips and flip your palms if you'd like. Maybe give a nice wiggle, shake your head. Let that jaw be so soft. Great. And allow your next exhale to let you fold forward over your legs. You can unbind your fingers if you'd like. If you're sitting on a block or pillow, you can remove it or you can keep it there. But just sway for a moment left to right. Notice your low back. Notice the top part of your glutes, possibly. Great. And let's walk the hands to the right and hold. And just breathe, letting that left hip really anchor down. Great. If you'd like, you can begin to peel the chest open and bring that left hand to the sky. Just for a moment, you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them, but you're just opening your arms up like a book here. And just take a couple breaths here. Great. On your exhale, go ahead and close the book back down. And we'll walk the hands to the left. So nice and easy. We're not rushing. We'll hold and pause here. Let that head just hang. Maybe a nice little stretch in the back of the neck, just letting gravity do its thing. Great. And maybe on an inhale, you peel that right hand to the sky. So open that book up. Few breaths here. Maybe the chin turns towards the thumb. So almost like you're trying to look past that back shoulder. Soft jaw. Great. And on an exhale, we'll bring that hand back down, come back to center. Pause one more time. Maybe thank yourself for doing something good for yourself. Life is so busy. It is so easy to stop doing the little things that make our bodies and our minds work better. So thank yourself for doing the good stuff too for yourself. Great. Let's walk the hands up to the knees. Ah, man, I want to take a nap now. Blink your eyes open. I know I say that every time, but I mean it. Let's switch the feet out. Great. Great. We're going to place the hands on the knees and just do some seated cats and cows here. So let's inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, lift the chin. Inhale. And exhale, roll the shoulders forward. I'm going to show you from the side. You can wiggle a little if it feels good. And then inhale. So follow your own breath here. Then just sort of information gather. There's no good or bad. It's just information. What's tight? What's not tight? A tight muscle is not a character flaw. It's just an area that might need a little more attention, a little more love. Great. Just a couple more. Let that jaw be really soft here. So maybe let the mouth open just slightly. Great, let's come back to neutral. Perfect. Hello. Great, so we're going to make some circles with our bellies and our torsos here. So what you're not doing is bringing the shoulders forward. You're not making big circles with your shoulders. What you're doing is keeping the shoulders relatively stationary. It's kind of almost impossible to keep them perfectly stationary. And you're just going to move the belly forward, to the right, to the back, to the left, and go whatever speed feels good. Make sure you're breathing though. Really good for digestion here. I'll show you from the side if you're like, what is she doing? Just sort of bring it forward, to the side, to the back. So maybe inhale as the belly comes forward, and exhale as it rolls back. Let's go the opposite direction. So you're literally massaging your intestines here. Isn't that crazy to think about? So if you had something really dense for dinner last night, you're welcome. Great. So one more round. Woo. Great, and let's come back to neutral. Let that belly breath come in nice and big, nice and lush. Woo, I just got a gurgle in my tummy. Nice. Exhale. And let's inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale the hands behind our backs, fingertips face your booty. Great. Inhale the heart and the chin towards the sky. Let that jaw be soft. Shake the head. No. No. Why is it so cold outside? Great. And on any old exhale, let's fold forward over the legs. Awesome. And just sort of sway. Notice your low back. Okay, let's walk the hands to the right. Pause. Notice that left hip, that left side body. Great. And on an inhale, we'll lift that left hand to the sky, open the book. Take a few breaths, let the belly be soft. Exhale the hand back down. Great, we'll walk the hands to the left now. Same dealio. Pause. Notice the right hip reaching back. Notice the right side body. Great, on your inhale, let's open that right arm up like a book. Ah. Couple of big belly breaths here. Great. Exhale that hand back down. We'll come back to the middle. Maybe set an intention. Use this little bow here to set an intention for yourself. Maybe to practice with more joy, practice with more love, practice with more awareness of your feet, whatever it is for you today. See if you can set Just a very simple intention. Great. And let's inhale the hands back up to the knees. Perfect. We're going to get on our hands and knees now. Excuse me. I'm so rude, coughing. Great. So we'll just do a couple of cats and cows here. Letting that belly once again be very soft. Inhaling. And exhaling. Pressing into the tops of the feet if the knees are feeling icky. So following your own breath here. Maybe giving some tail wags. Maybe shaking the head. Maybe getting a little funky with it. I don't know if this microphone is picking up on like all the noises my tummy's making, but it's hilarious. Great. So let's get into a nice cow. A nice cow, not a mean cow. Great. And let's cat our way into an extended child's pose. So cat all the way down to extended child's pose. And then inhale back to cow. So we'll go back and forth between those two. Inhaling and exhaling. And the great thing about being at home doing this is that you can really accentuate your breath and not feel embarrassed. I know that's a thing. But just try it out. See how it feels to really kind of overdo it with the breath. Maybe do a Darth Vader sort of, or like you're fogging up glass. And it creates heat in the body. Okay, 2 more here. One more. And let's end in an extended child's pose. Put your knees as wide as you need to. So there's no no one size fits all here. So just get your booty nice and comfortable, basically. Ooh, my foot got a cramp. We're going to bring our palms together like a little prayer hand. And bring those little prayer hands behind your head like a little shark fin. Perfect. You can walk your elbows forward if you need to. Or you can keep them where they are. So just kind of adjust to what feels yummy. And feel that stretch in your shoulders, maybe in your armpits, maybe in the tops of your biceps. Allow that head to really sort of sink towards the ground. You can move that shark fin left and right, so press into one hand, press into the other hand. So you can press your right hand into your left and get an interesting stretch. So just sort of play. Find the nuance. Find the way this stretch works for you. And breathe. Breathe. Breathe, family, breathe. Beautiful. One more big belly breath. Great, and let's bring those hands back down. Exhale, take a big inhale. And let's exhale that left arm underneath the right for a really gentle twist. Both palms are facing down here. Great. Just breathe. Notice what it feels like to press all your fingers equally into the mat. Just really gently. Now, this is one of those circumstances where if the ground is super far away for you, you can grab a pillow and put it under your butt, put it under your head, under your shoulder, and maybe the stretch will be a little gentler, which will make it more effective. We don't always have to go to the nth degree, because sometimes that'll tense up so many muscles that it's just kind of like, what's the point? So do the things that work best for your body, please. Just a couple more breaths. Great. And on an inhale, let's bring that left hand back to the top of the mat. And exhale the right arm underneath the left arm. Beautiful. Once again, both palms are facing down. And the more you reach that left arm towards the top of the mat, the more of a stretch you'll get in that armpit. Don't be surprised if one shoulder is significantly tighter than the other. It's like impossible to use both arms and both legs in the exact same way all the time. Like, we just get into pattern movements. So things are going to be different in different areas. And that's okay. Goodness. I hear my animals scurrying about in the other room. Great. So just a few more breaths here. Great. And let's inhale that right hand back to the top of the mat. And exhale, just pause. You can even bring your arms by your sides and flip your palms to the ceiling if that feels nice, or you can leave your arms out straight. What I like to do is grab my heels, grab my feet. It just feels very, very safe, secure, very grounded, very connected to my own body. It's like I'm cradling myself. Great. And on an inhale, we'll just bring the hands back forward nice and slow and come into a tabletop. Awesome. So just sort of, shake your booty, do whatever sort of movements you need to neutralize, to be like, ooh, I feel like I did something there. Great. And spread your fingers out, almost like you're like a little tree frog, that kind of grabs the ground, a little suctions into the ground. So spread your fingers out, plug those fingers into the ground. We're going to tuck the toes, take a big inhale, and exhale to a down dog. Walk it out. Let's get a little funky with it. So let the hips kind of shake left and right, maybe twist the knees. So say hello to our first down dog. Great. Notice your breath. Inhale back down, our knees back down. Great. Let's exhale, down dog. Great. Inhale, back down. Exhale, down dog. Oh, kitty. Inhale, back down. Great. Exhale, down dog. We're going to stay here for just a second. Let's spin the triceps away from the ears, but still keep contact with that thumb and pointer. Just take a few breaths here. Great. And let's inhale that right leg to the sky. So kick the leg straight out, straight to the sky. Great. And let's exhale. Bring the leg between the hands for a low lunge. So bring that left knee down, right foot in between the hands. Good. Press that top of that left foot into the mat. And let's inhale, bring the arms to the sky. Great. Then exhale. Let's bring the hands back down, hips back, runner's lunge. So we'll go back and forth between the low crescent lunge and the runner's lunge. So inhaling up and exhaling runner's lunge. Find your own rhythm here. So don't even pay attention to me. Notice whatever you notice. Notice what it feels like to be noticing. Like, what? I have a body, I'm doing stuff. Or like, ooh, that area is tight. That needs more love. What would it feel like if I moved around a little right there? So find little ways to nourish yourself if you can. Great, just a couple more of these. Lovely, lovely. And we will end up in a runner's lunge. So slowly find your way to the runner's lunge here. Great. And let's just let that leg rotate in the socket a bit. So you're letting the toe, not just the ankle move around, but you're letting the whole leg sort of rotate, giving the hip a different way to move than we really get a chance to move it. Yeah, let those toes go back and forth. Great, we're gonna let the toes flop all the way to the left here. Now, if your knee's starting to hurt, you can always put a blanket underneath your knee, by the way. Great, so you're letting the foot flop all the way to the left. Now you can walk your hands to the right. Now, if this is hard, you can always use the left hand and just sort of hold on to the foot. You'll still get the stretch. So you're getting a nice stretch on the outside of the calf here, or the shin, getting a little bit in the IT band. You know, probably in a few other areas too. I'm getting it a little bit in my adductors, and maybe in the low back on that right side. So nice, big stretch there. Just breathe. Wonderful. Great. We're going to walk the hands to the left now and let the toes go towards the right. And notice my hands are not flat on the ground. I just don't have that flexibility. So if your hands are flat, or if you're like way up here, totally fine. You know, also some people have longer arms than others, so we're all going to look a little different. What's important is that you're feeling a stretch that feels good, useful, intuitively right for you. You know, and that you're breathing. that old thing. Great. One more big inhale. Exhale. And we'll come back to the center. Maybe flex the foot, point the foot. So just feel that. If your knee's a little bent there, no big deal. Nothing will burst into flames, I assure you. And yeah, once again, as I always say, if you want to, at any point, massage your leg or do anything like that, by gosh, do something nice for yourself. Great. So let's bring that right foot back. Move around, neutralize however you need to. So my go-to is a cat and a cow. Like shake my booty. Great, we'll come to a neutral spine here. So take your time getting there. Spread them digits out once again. Tuck those toes once again. Take a big inhale. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, knees back down. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, knees back down. Exhale, down dog. Great. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky. Hello. And just feel that extension, reach that leg back. Couple breaths. Great, and let's step that left foot between the hands. Right knee is down. Great. Press into the top of that right foot and let's bring the arms up. Beautiful. And just feel how that feels. And let's exhale to a runner's lunge. Find your way between those two postures. And just explore, inhaling as the arms come up. And exhaling as the hands come down. Woo, almost lost my balance. Explore, play, find out what needs to be paid attention to more. And just enjoy being here, being alive. So if you're ever wondering, when do I inhale and when do I exhale? Generally, when the arms are moving away from the torso, you're inhaling. So you can imagine like filling something up. And whenever you're kind of compressing or bringing the arms down, or even bringing the legs towards the body, that's usually an exhale. I get that question a lot, so I figured I'd answer it now. Great, so just a couple more. And we'll end in a runner's lunge. Great. And just let that leg rotate in its socket. So let the leg move about. And once again, you may notice one side's tighter than the other, or feels different. Great, we'll let those toes flop all the way to the right. And we'll walk the hands to the left. Once again, you can rest that right hand on the outside of that left foot. Or maybe you can have your hands all the way on the other side. No big deal. And just breathe and notice. Belly breaths. Just a few more breaths here. Okay, and we'll walk the hands slowly towards the right, letting the toes flop towards the left. It is awkward. So if you're like, man, this feels awkward, this is like a super awkward thing, it's very helpful. But yeah, it's just like a really awkward posture. Great. Just a couple more breaths. Well, hey there, little kitty cat. And you'll walk your hands back to the center. Maybe flex and point that toe. Ooh, wee. Get that gristle out, right? Awesome. And we will bring that left foot back to a tabletop. And neutralize however works best for you. Booty wags, or cat and cow, whatever sort of loosey-goosiness is on the agenda for today. Great. So let's do another big inhale. Spread those fingers out, tuck the toes. And let's exhale to a down dog. Great. Spin the triceps away from the ears. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And let's inhale, walk the feet up towards the hands at the top of the mat. Great. Let's inhale for a halfway lift. I should have had you exhale first. That's okay. Exhale, fold forward. Nice soft bend in the knees. Great. And let's inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale, palms at heart center. Let the shoulders drop here. Great. So before we do a couple of sun salutations, I'm going to have you guys bring your feet about hip width distance apart. I'm going to face you so you can see facing you. Sounds so aggressive, right? Oh, nice cat hair on the nice black shirt. Then just let your arms swing side to side. Great. You can even let one knee bend. Let the other knee bend. You get a little loosey-goosey with it. Nice on your hips. Nice on your shoulders. That's what I see all the cute old Japanese people doing every morning. And they live to be like 200 years old, so I'm going to add some of that to my yoga routine. Great. So come back to neutral. We're going to do forwards and backwards now. So if you've done CrossFit, you've done this before. Got it. Just two more. Great. And let's bring one hand on our hearts, one hand on our bellies. Just close your eyes for a moment. And notice what it's like to suddenly be still after lots of movement. Yet another transitional space. A little check-in with yourself. And see how you're doing with your intention that you set. I forget my intentions half the time when a teacher says that in class. So don't worry about it if you're like, what? We did an intention? Great. Let's go ahead and release the hands by the sides. Maybe the big toes are touching, a little space between the heels. And let's inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Nice soft bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. And exhale, right leg back, right knee down. Press into the top of that right foot as you inhale the arms up. And let's exhale down to our bellies or to chaturanga. Great. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Wiggle around if it feels good. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, arms up. Exhale, hands back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, palms at heart center. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg back, right knee down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down to your belly or chaturanga. And inhale up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg forward. Arms up. Exhale, hands back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up. And palms at heart center. One last time, inhale, arms up. We got this. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Right leg back. Arms up. Down to the belly. Up dog or cobra. Down dog, 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg forward. Arms up. Great. Exhale, hands back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. All the way up. And palms at heart center. Great. Let's pause for a moment. Just see how you're feeling. Notice that you're here. Notice your feet, your toes, your legs, your belly, your hips, your breath, your heart, your arms, your face, your whole body. Great. Go ahead and release your hands. I'm going to face you guys. Once again, so aggressive. Let's inhale the arms up and onto our toes. So we're on our tippy toes now. Woo. Take a couple breaths here. Really dynamic toes and fingers moving away from each other. Great. Whoa. On your next exhale, let's bring the palms to, heart center and come into a toe squat. My equilibrium's super off. My ears are clogged. Great, and let's pause here. See if you can bring your thighs parallel with the mat. See if you can smile to yourself. Let the shoulders relax down, let the jaw relax. Great, and let's exhale, bring the hands down and sit on our butts. Feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana. Great. And the natural thing is to want to flap your wings. So flap them if it feels nice. Oh, makes me feel like a little kid. Great. So you can keep flapping. I'm not going to stop you. But if you want, you can begin to peel your feet open like a book. Maybe bring your feet slightly away from yourself and just sort of sway your way into a forward fold here. So we're being really gentle. So you can keep swaying or maybe find stillness. And just notice the sides of your hips, the fronts of your hips, the insides of your legs, outsides. Notice if there's any tension in your face. And see if you can slow your breathing down. So deep belly breaths. You're not reaching for a stretch, you're just settling into a stretch. You're just being where you are. And as that becomes more comfortable mentally and physically, it'll begin to soften. That's how you get to the deeper stretches. Wonderful. So just a few more breaths here. Maybe lift your torso and sort of inchworm or undulate your spine longer. Come back down. Great. Let's begin to release the hands. We're going to roll the body up. Ah. Let's bring the left foot in, bring the right leg up and over. Now, this is not accessible for everybody. Once again, tight muscles are not character flaws. If this is like super weird or uncomfortable, just straighten out that left leg and then hold the right leg. No big deal. So we're going to just hug ourselves, hug that right leg for a moment. See if you could bring your shoulders square with your hips and let the shoulders relax. Let the jaw relax. See if you could have equal weight on both sit bones. I like to close my eyes if you haven't noticed. It just sort of limits the information that I'm getting constantly so I can actually feel what's going on in my body. I think that makes sense. So much distraction in this world for my little ADD brain. Yeah, and just notice where you're feeling the sensation the most. See if anything around that can just soften. Great. Let's exhale, release the leg. We're going to switch to the other side. So, dance move. Awesome. And hug the left leg. Yeah, make sure that neck and jaw is still soft. No straining. And same dealio. Notice your sit bones. Notice where you're feeling the sensations most distinctly. Just be nice to yourself. Square those shoulders up at the hips. If you can, as much as you can. It doesn't have to be like scientifically perfect. And mathematically. Just a few more breaths. Great, let's release that leg. We're going to lay on our backs now. You can bring your knees to your chest and give yourself a hug, or maybe even put one hand on each knee and just move the legs around. Let the ground give you a little booty and low back massage. So nice. Ooh. Great, let's bring our feet to the ground, kind of near our booties here. Our hands are by our hips. I'm going to scoot down so I don't smack things. Great. Notice your breath in your low belly, so let that belly remain super soft. It's a hard one to remember for sure. Great, and we're going to inhale the hips to the sky and the hands behind the head. So press into the toes and the heels, so those toes need to stay on the ground. And then exhale it down. We'll do 5, 2, and down, 3, and down. 4 and down. Last one. 5. We're going to hold this one up. I know I'm so mean. Let's interlace the fingertips behind the back. And then you can kind of shimmy the shoulders more underneath you if that feels good. Keep those toes on the ground. Take just a couple breaths here. Come down whenever you're ready. If you need to sooner, no big deal. Or on the next exhale, release the hands. Then release the booty down. Great. Knees back to the chest one last time. Nice big hug. Thank yourself for being so nice to yourself. I think that's great. Great. And on an exhale, let's extend those legs out. We're going to get ready for Shavasana. Unless you have some final moves you want to throw in there for yourself. You're like, my body needs this or that. Please do it. I will never be upset for you doing things nice for your body. But if you are ready for Shavasana, go ahead and spread those legs and arms out. And just feel the breath pouring in naturally. So be like, oh, I'm just noticing that. I'm not forcing it. I'm also not like a cat waiting outside a mouse hole, like in Tom and Jerry. You just happen to see it come and go. You're just an observer. Noticing the weight of the head, maybe. The softness in the jaw. Softness in the forehead. The eyes, the mouth, the tongue. Maybe you'll notice the weight of your shoulders and just let that go a little more. You may notice your collarbones sort of feeling softer as your shoulders sink down. You'll notice your upper arms, your forearms and your hands sinking down. Your hips, your glutes, your legs, your thighs and hamstrings, shins, calves, feet, and toes. Notice the upper part of your body sinking down. Notice the lower part of your body sinking down. Enjoy your Shavasana. I'll let you know when it's complete. slowly, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the cool air at the tip of your nose as you inhale, and the warm air escaping as you exhale. You can wiggle your toes and fingers and shake your head. And when you're ready, on any old exhale, you can roll to one side. You really feel sweet with yourself here in this position. It's vulnerable, it's rebirth, it's comforting, it's starting anew. Notice your breath, and on any old inhale, you can come up to seated position. Well, thank you guys so much for being so sweet and for joining me and my little sicky self and for taking care of yourselves. Namaste.